make better documents. In this series, we'll take a look at some documents. We will look at 3 good things about a document and 3 things that could be better. Today, let's take a look at this Global Cybersecurity Insight Report. First, we'll go through the whole document. I'm sure you can already see this is quite a clean document, lots of white space. Has many infographics. Okay, let's take a look at 3 good things. The first one I want to mention is the white space. So throughout the document, there's actually quite a wide margin down this left-hand side. So you can see that throughout the document. At most of the time, that white space is just there. It gives the document some breathing room. I wanted to mention also that the designer has worked hard to make the 2 columns finish on the same line. So then it allows the document to have a lot of white space. So I can show you this on a couple of pages. The bottom of the 2 columns finish on the same line here, allowing there to be a lot of white space. They've been totally happy to have just half a page of empty white space, and it's totally fine. So here's a couple of pages where half the page is empty and it's not a problem. Again, this just gives the document a lot of breathing space. The next thing I want to mention is these infographics. They are all super simple. There's nothing to distract. I'll show a few. They've tried really hard to just have simple colors, simple graphics. Text is very easy to read. Again, simple graphic, simple, easy to read text. Couple of labels. Here's the icons, numbers, very simple text. Once you start to notice a few of the infographics, you see that they have a grey background behind them. And they've kept these infographics looking quite consistent throughout the entire document. I also want to mention how cute this particular infographic is, how they've used the building and the lock as a way of being the bar in the bar chart. Very cute. Something else that's good in this document is the way that they have their chapter openings. So each of the chapters has a number, it has the title, it has a sub-paragraph or a sub-opening, and normally a lot of white space. Also, this line is part of the chapter opening. So if we have a look at one of the other chapters, you'll see that this line continues down past the white space into the content itself. It's very nice. What are some things that could be better? I think I understand what they were going for with this particular infographic, but I think it's a little bit unfinished. I think that these particular items feed into this element, and these items on the right feed also into this element. They'd already used some color. They've used the green for these particular recommendations. If they'd continued to have these be green and have these particular recommendations that are blue be blue, it might have made a bit more sense. Also, I was thinking that maybe if this circle in the middle is about we're bridging the gaps, if this circle in the middle is actually the gap, the thing that joins the 2 together, it would have made more sense to have that visually show that it is the thing that joins them together. Even if they could have just used the yellow, they could have had the lines pointing in those directions. Whilst I think the pull quotes are great, I think that they didn't need to duplicate the actual quote mark at the start of them. It makes the left alignment of this a little bit funny because the quote mark is in there, and it is just a duplicated element that doesn't need to be there. You don't really need both. The last thing I wanted to mention is breaking the text flow around an infographic. It's always a really tricky thing to have to manage. I noticed on this particular page, the content goes down this particular column and then it jumps over to this column and then it goes past the infographic. This bit of text joins up to down here on the left. So now we've gone from left to right, left to right. I think what would have made it better is if the infographic was just at the bottom of this particular page and the columns just read left column, right column, like columns normally do. Don't forget to like and subscribe. In the description is information about how to come to one of our online group workshops. how to hire me to design all of your workshop materials, as well as a link to quick online courses, making the world a more beautiful place, one document at a time.